It is May 1st, and you know what that means. It's time for our first ever horoscope for knitters. And today I'm going to use the Mini Cat Tarot deck as my tarot cards that we're going to pull for each sign of the zodiac. Before we get started, a little background on this deck. It's really my favorite travel deck because it's super small, and it's made by an independent artist called Rachillu. I'll put a link to her Etsy store, which is where she sells this deck from the UK, if you're interested. Otherwise, let's jump in to our first sign of the zodiac. I'm going to shuffle up the cards. How do you shuffle your decks? I always like the shotgun method, which the name is a little alarming, but the method is good. So these cards are square, and one reason that I really like them is because you can read them in all directions. And as this progresses, I'm sure you'll see, I don't just do if they're facing upright or if they're reversed. I also read them if they're facing left or right, meaning past or future. So I hope you enjoy this little spin on how I read these cards. All right, up first, whoop, Aries, and they're on the floor. That's usually how I know to stop. All right, Aries, what do we have? Whoa, 3 of Swords. Is this the time to start new projects? Probably not. And perhaps the ones you are working on are not going as planned, maybe even causing you grief. Or maybe you're making projects for people who won't appreciate them. So now is a great time to reassess what you're working on and seeing, do they make you happy? And if not, do you have to be working on them right now? All right, up next, Taurus. So we have the Emperor. The Emperor is all about establishing foundations to ensure success. So this month of May could be a great time for you to connect with a teacher or to learn a new thing that will apply to a project that maybe was giving you trouble or that you just didn't know about, something to enlighten your knitting beyond where you're at now. So look for the teacher who can show you maybe a skill that you want to learn or help you overcome a fear, and you'll have a great May. Next is Gemini, and we have the 4 of Cups, and it's facing towards the future. When I see this card, I'm reminded that sometimes we get swept up in the moment and we don't really see when help is coming. So perhaps there's projects that you're working on or working on for somebody that you're not really enthused about or you're not really encouraged to keep working on. May is going to offer an opportunity to spice things up, to re-engage you with these projects that may have otherwise just sort of been sitting at the wayside and not very interested to get moving on again. I have a feeling that some projects that you haven't been working on are going to suddenly look more alluring because something is going to be coming into your knitting sphere that will re-inspire you to work on them. Just don't pass it up when the opportunity arises. All right, next we have for Cancer, the 5 of Pentacles. If you have a lack mindset, this is going to be the month that you'll be able to overcome it. Maybe you're not feeling worthwhile enough. Maybe you're a little short on cash to get a tool or a yarn that you were hoping for, but this is the month where assistance is going to be coming. So keep your chin up. It's going to work out. Help is on the way. And also, you might be the one to help someone, so keep your eye out for someone who's knitting in your sphere who may need a hand from you and your knowledge to help their attitude. So maybe they're not feeling like they're worthwhile enough. You can help prove their worth. And Cancer, you know you're good at that. All right, next up we have Leo. And for Leo, we have the Ace of Wands. Ooh, Leo, good news for you. You get to start a new project. If there is ever a cast-on card, it's definitely an ace, and I would say the Ace of Wands for sure. So a new project awaits, and it's maybe even coming out of the blue, but it's going to be exciting. and you may find that you finish it very fast too. One thing I love about Wands cards is they're full of energy, so if you're looking for a project to knit quickly, this could be the one that puts in a ton of amazing energy into that project, and you'll find that you'll get it finished just as quickly as it came into your life to cast on. Up next, Virgos! Ooh, we get the wish card. So, 9 of Cups. Look at this satisfied little feline here. Everything is lining up. For a Virgo, this feels like emotional organization and things working out just as planned. So, if you have projects that you've been working on, worry not. They will all go according to plan, and you will be very satisfied with the results. Not only will you be satisfied, but the recipient of any gifts that you're making for other people will also be very satisfied. Libra, what's in store for you? Ooh, the Queen of Swords. Okay, the Queen of Swords takes no shit, and I love her for that. She also knows when it's time to continue a project versus time to pull out a project. She also knows not to overcommit herself. So, if you have people coming and asking, can you make me this? Remember, you have the ability in yourself to put boundaries up and say no. This is not the time. Making gifts out of obligation is just a way to knit in resentment. It always is for me. So remember to find your balance. Scorpio. We have the Page of Wands, and it's facing towards the future. So this month will bring exciting new things that's going to come up as a result of investment. Something that you've been working towards is soon going to lead to fruition. If you've been dreaming of a certain project, now's the time to do it. Your aspirations will become true. Go ahead, start that new project. It's gonna be amazing. Okay, next up we have Sagittarius. And for you, ooh, we have the Empress. And it's facing towards the past. So May for you will be a good opportunity to look towards past projects. What's currently sitting in your knitting basket unfinished? This is the month to show it some love. Bring it back out, put it back in the sunlight, and finish it. And you will be so happy that you did. You'll be satisfied, and if you've been putting it on hold for somebody else, it's going to be finished and they're going to be extremely happy. Next up, Capricorn. We have the 8 of Swords. You may seem like you're a little tangled up in all the projects that you have right now. You're not sure which ones you should be working on. You're not sure what's going on with some that might be in chaos. Maybe you have some projects in timeout because they're not going well. Don't worry, just breathe. You don't have to decide to work on any of these projects right now. You could just simply sit and wonder, have I over-obligated myself with certain projects? Are you overburdening yourself with commitments? You can choose to take this blindfold right off your eyes and reassess. What are you working on now? Does it need to be worked on now? Does it need to be finished at all? Maybe it's time to just release it, and then you'll be able to move on. So, review, release, move on. Aquarius. For you, we have the 2 of Wands. Ooh, you might be traveling somewhere to perhaps a yarn store or to a place where you have knitting friends, and by doing so, you're going to be expanding your horizons. You're going to be letting people inspire you with their ideas. You're going to inspire them with your ideas, and just having a change of space is going to feel really refreshing. Even if you don't have a trip on the books, try knitting someplace different this month and seeing how that affects your work. Do you feel like you're more energized with a different change of space? Maybe you run into someone who gives you a really great idea or some inspiration on a future project. The world is your oyster this month. Just step a little bit outside your comfort zone, Capricorn, and you'll find that the universe will provide in amazing ways. Last up, we have Pisces. And for Pisces, we have the 10 of Wands facing towards the future. There's a lot of wands today. May is going to be a lot of transformation for a lot of the signs, and for Pisces, this is the end of a cycle. You may have felt that up until now, you've been taking on too much, whether that's because you were excited to start on projects just because it's always exciting to start new projects, or because people convinced you, or you readily agreed to doing projects, and perhaps now you're realizing, oh, this is like more than I can handle right now. So this is the month where you're going to realize you don't have to be overburdened and you can start fresh. The old cycle is wrapping up and a new cycle is coming. So free yourself of any burdens so that when the new cycle comes, you can readily have room to welcome it in. All right, my Coven of Knitters, that was the first ever horoscope reading for all the signs of the zodiac via tarot card for knitters. Since this is the first time I'm doing it, I would love to hear your feedback. Maybe you'd like this segment to be longer. Maybe you'd like it to be shorter. Maybe you'd like it to have oracle cards and tarot cards. Please leave me your feedback in the comments, and especially if you find that your horoscope from this reading is ringing true. I would love to hear it. Until next month, everybody, have a great May and Merry Make!